and it is the consistent way that we can reach out and we can talk to people and we can get them to come from behind the computer screen to us. So whether all right, well, we'll get started. Does anybody have any wins? We'll let Angie get on here first. Angie, good morning.
So we had a pretty good win. We haven't been able to make contact with them yet, but they're consistently looking at properties on our website.
Okay.
So how would you approach that, or what would be the next course that you would do?
We're gonna
contact.
Okay, we're gonna kind of talk about some of that today. A strategy. We're getting back into, kind of what the winning playbook is about and going over different strategies and wins, ways to get wins. So we'll talk about that and see if that doesn't help you with what you're talking about today.
Okay.
Anybody else got any wins? By the way, Christopher, was this a new sign up that's looking at properties?
No, this is somebody we met. We met them about a year ago, and we've had, like I said, we've had no contact with them. And about last month, they started looking at properties.
Good. That's the power of that database and KV Core's CRM is being able to see that and know that we can start focusing on them. So that's awesome. Anybody else got any wins?
I have a few under contract.
Great. That's definitely
well. Let me take that back. I have one under contract and I have a new listing.
Good. Congrats.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I went ahead and did that property boost thing.
And
I've got 5 people that I got to follow up with today. I just got to figure out what I'm supposed to be saying.
Okay. Well, get with us. We can help you with that. How many? You got 5 people signed up from Property Boost?
I got 5 different leads that I need to follow up with today.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
I did Property Boost also with my listing to market the listing. And I got 5. I added 5 people to my database.
Okay.
I haven't been able to speak to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, so I can't gauge how good of leads they are, but I did get 5 leads from it. I think the campaign is over. I think it ran for 7 days and it almost touched 2,000 people, close to.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I thought that was. I was happy with those results.
What you did that through KV Core or through Bullseye?
I think it was. Isn't Property Boost KV Core?
They have a Property Boost, and Bullseye has one too. When the lead came in, did it go directly to your CRM?
Yes.
Okay, that it was KV Core.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to kind of keep track of which platform they're using and who's getting the best bang for their buck, so we can pass that along. So, well, good. So there's just in this group right now, this weekend, we got 10 brand new leads from the weekend. So that's awesome. So, all right. So anybody else got anything before I get off or before I start? Any more wins?
Ready?
Do what?
I said, you're getting off already?
No, sorry about that. All right. So what I want to talk about today, it's called the Deal of the Week system. Okay. So we have talked about sending out, property of the week, doing it Facebook, things like that. This is going to be email or it's going to be text message, and it's going to be nothing but sending a deal of the week out via text. Okay. Or with text only. We're not putting links in there. We're not putting pictures in there. It is just text only. So there are three major parts to the deal of the week system, and one is we got to look is problem. There's the problem with most leads, and here we got 10 new leads that we're talking about today that came in over the weekend, and I guarantee you one of the biggest problems they have will be follow up. Okay, so that's the major problem with about every agent out there is follow up. Okay, yes, we have a CRM system that drips them. Yes, you're told to phone call them, but that is a lot of work, and it gets tiresome, it gets boring, and the rejection and the people not answering the phone happens all the time. So that's the problem with leads. That's the problem with people in our database is our follow-up as agents. So the solution is it could be this deal of the week. Okay. And this deal of the week, and number three is the why it works. And when we put deal of the week, people naturally have a fear of missing out. FOMO, I think they call it nowadays. They have a natural fear of missing out when they see deal of the week. I know I've been, not that I'm going to get one, but I've been toying around with getting another truck, and so obviously I've hit on a few, and one thing I see is I get ads all the time now in social media. And one thing I saw on a couple of them was the deal of the week at this dealership or whatever. And it creates, and I'm not real serious about it, so it hadn't really created a fear of missing out with me, but it creates that fear. Oh my goodness, here, this deal is here and it's only here this week. And I need to pay attention to what this dealership is offering me. Well, we're kind of doing that the same way. And we're going to send this out via text or via email. And this, of course, having text and email, that goes back to building our database and our CRM, like we have talked about when we first started, or when you first joined United. We talk about your CRM and your database. So constantly always be building that up, so that you can do some of these tactics that we're talking about and these ways of reaching out. So those are the three elements of it. The problem is we hate follow-up. Two, the solution is going to be this deal of the week, and the why it works is because it creates that fear of missing out. And you've heard me say it 100 times, we're trying to get people from behind the computer screen to having a conversation, because conversations equal conversion. The more conversations you have, not the more emails you send, not the more text messages you send, the more conversations you have, the more conversions you'll receive. I don't know that I've ever done a deal, maybe one deal, but I don't know that I've ever done a deal via text and via email the whole way through. Okay. You got to have a conversation. They became a client from me actually talking to them. So when we have that mindset that we got to get them from our database and behind the computer screen to the other side to where they're actually picking up the phone, we've got to do that. I think this deal of the week will help that. And because it's going to have some elements in the email. And again, we will give you samples of the emails. It'll have elements of that where finally at the bottom of it is going to be a clear call to action. And it's not a link they click. It's a reply if they're interested. So because once they do that, they're that much closer to having a conversation. So we've talked about the buyer journey and those phases that those buyers are in. A buyer that's replying to this is on down that journey. They've realized they've got a problem. They are doing their research. They're on down that journey. And these would be the people that reply are going to be way up that ladder on that journey, and people that we would want to get a hold of. Okay. So what does it look like? Deal of the week. So in the subject matter, and again, we'll give you a sample, but in the subject matter, it's going to have the location. Okay. We're not giving them all the details. It's going to have Murfreesboro dash deal of the week. Remember, this does not have to be your listing. You go out there, figure out a home that's maybe priced a little below comps. Maybe pick out one in Murfreesboro. Maybe it's Smyrna deal of the week. Maybe it's Mount Juliet deal of the week, Tullahoma deal of the week. So you could do one every day of the week and hit different cities, but be specific about the area. Okay. And if you have your database set up for, you got a buyer client looking in Smyrna, Mount Juliet, Nashville, whatever, then you just send it to that group of people because you've already determined the area that they're looking for. Okay. So that's some of that, going back to our CRM, that's some of that stuff, how we've talked about before on when we set up our database, when we set up those clients in the database in KV Core, we're hashtagging them, whatever city that they're looking for, Murfreesboro, hashtag Smyrna, hashtag, Manchester. So if we do a Manchester deal of the week and we looked at real tracks and we found a couple of houses that, okay, they're below the median price point for Manchester. That's the next thing I'm going to tell you. I think we should find homes that are below that median price point. So in Murfreesboro, you find a 350 to 390 home, low 400s home, that's got some decent square footage to it, that really looks good in pictures. That may be a good home, especially if it's below comps, or especially if the agent's advertising that's below recent appraisal. I don't fall for the ones that say price below appraisal and the appraisal was done in the high point of the year or whatever. Just always find something that you did a little bit of research on that you feel is at comps or lower, and make that your deal of the week. Okay. And then that's the subject line. Nothing more. Don't try to change a whole lot of stuff on this, but subject line, deal of the week. Then what we're going to do is we're not giving them the address. Okay. We're going to bullet point different things. Put about 6 bullet points. 2 of them are going to be why you like the house. 2 of them are about the neighborhood. And so we're, it could be close to I-24, easy exit. Could be 2 about the house, 2 about the neighborhood, and 2 why you like it. So look for things in the house. Maybe it's got great curb appeal. Maybe it's got a large backyard. Those are the things that you may like about the house, that other people may like about the house. Bullet point those. If it's in a great location, or it's got a community pool, or it's near a park, or it's near the easy access to the interstate to get to a great location, bullet point those ideas about the neighborhood. And then pick 2 things that you really like about the house and put those bullet points in there. Okay. And then the main part of this is going to be our call to action. Would you like to know more details? Reply home to this, or reply whatever, or just reply, and I'll send you more details. Okay, now we have had somebody that is in your database that you've got email addresses to, you've got phone numbers that you can text to, actually raise their hand and reply. And once they reply, now we've got to send them those details. If you really want to get creative, I think it's awesome if you did a broker, especially if it's you really like this house and you're like, wow, this is going to create lots of interest. Maybe go do a broker showing and do a little video. I do not recommend doing video of your showings inside the house. Okay. I think there's some liability issues if you catch somebody's picture or something on your video, but absolutely do the outside. Hey, I'm doing a tour of this house today. And maybe the neighborhood also. We've talked about neighborhood tours, and then take that video and send them those details along with a link to your KV Core, to that website for that particular property. And there's your call. They've replied to your call of action. You get them something. Now, I don't think you necessarily have to do video, but I just think it engages and it makes them and introduces you to them right away, and gives them that familiarity with you. But a link, absolutely your link to your KV core, but that's on the reply after they've already raised their hand. So just by the nature of this, we got to do this weekly. So don't do it once or twice and then quit. It's got to be on a regular basis for you to do it. I think this does 5 things that one, it's not pictures, it's not links on the first email. So it prevents people from unsubscribing to your emails or your text message or opting out of that stuff. Easy to scroll, easy to do. Don't make it lengthy. Don't do a lot of description and be descriptive with it. Just bullet points and a call to action with the subject matter deal of the week. I think it increases the readership. I think people are likely. How many flyers do people send, property flyers, and you just fly through them? I haven't looked at a property flyer sent to me in a long time. But I tell you, when I do look at them is when I've got a client or somebody and it says something on there that says, oh, that may be something for them. So this is the same idea with this subject matter. People stop at deals, but it should increase readership because it's easy to go through and scan. It increases forwarding. So, if you're a consumer out there and it may not interest you, but you see deal of the week because you're looking for acreage in Coffee County, but then all of a sudden you see deal of the week in Murfreesboro, but your uncle is looking for a home in Murfreesboro. There's a good chance you're going to forward that to your uncle. And so it increases forwarding, increases, that email being passed along even above, even past your database. Should increase replies because they have to reply to get the details of this deal. Okay. And that's when we're going to send them the link and the actual home with more details on it. Because once you're able to do that, now that should make an easy follow-up call. Hey, you requested the details on this property. Was there anything about this property you liked? So now you should be able to have an easier conversation instead of that cold lead that called up. These people are a little farther down, and a phone call would be appropriate after they've raised their hand and said, please send me the details. So it increases replies. And then I think it helps, gives us more brand awareness. We're doing this on a weekly basis. They're seeing your name out there more. They're seeing United Real Estate out there more, the brokerage you're with. I think it increases your brand awareness. Not only does that help you with this, but guess what? If somebody is looking that and they've seen your name out there all the time, and now they're thinking about selling their home, you're back to top of the mind. So we talk about content all the time being sent out. This is not spammy. This is not, you're not asking for their information. All you're asking for is them, if they're interested in this deal of the week, which you've given some details on. By the way, I do think you should put price at the bottom of that email. So your bullet points and then the price, and then, reply home or reply for more details on this property. But give them that call to action with the price, the bullet points, and then the subject line deal of the week. Anybody got any thoughts on that? Anybody done anything like that? So we've talked about it, doing it on Facebook. We talked about a neighborhood of the week, a property of the week, things like that. But this is asking for a reply. So if you got 1,000 people in your database and you're giving them something like this over and over again, those 1,000 people are reintroduced to you if you have not been reaching out to them on a regular basis. So guess what the play of the week is? I'm going I'm going to get the sample emails, probably do a couple samples. We'll have those samples in the collateral. We'll try to get those up today, and so you can use them. So by this time next week, I hope everybody has identified a property and put it out there to their database. Again, if you don't have a database or you have not set your database up properly, that's where we got to start. And I think when we start this fall again, we're going to go back to CRM and database because so much of what we do and so much of the way we reach out to people is the database. And it is the consistent way that we can reach out and we can talk to people and we can get them to come from behind the computer screen to us. So whether Christopher, this person right here that you're dealing with, this is something to find that deal of the week that they, in my opinion, you've seen the homes that they're opening and looking at, find something similar that they have not opened and looked at, or find something that's expired or something that's off market for some reason and send them that. This is, hey, this is an off market property. It shows that you're better than the MLS. You're actually looking out for them and not just giving them these updates from the MLS. You are looking for those off market properties and say, hey, if this one doesn't work, would you like me to research more off market opportunities that may meet your, again, all you want to do, Christopher, you want them to reply back to you. That's it. And so try to send them a text of a property that they have not looked at and see if that does not generate a response. So any questions or thoughts? We got a quiet bunch here today. All right. Well, I'm going to get these emails to Lisa and we will get them on the collateral. I hope everybody tries it. And once you start, create your template and then just find that property and just update your bullet points and maybe the area and do this consistently. Try to do it for at least 2 months. And then report back when you're getting those responses. I don't care if if it doesn't turn into a client, but if you're getting a response, please let us know. Please let this group know so that we can all learn. Try not to deviate much. Don't customize a whole lot. Make it simple, sweet, and keep on that and try it for 2 months. And then let's see how many responses we get out of this group. And then it'd be cool to see if we can get some actual closed deals in the next 60 days. I think that'd be awesome to hear. So look forward to hearing those stories. So hey, go ahead,
what's
Michelle.
collateral? What's collateral?
The email, we just put things there that you can use. So it's a sample of the email that I'm talking about.
It's in KV Core, or is it?
No, it'll be in your Winning Playbook Hub.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Guys, don't forget August 1st, we are doing the updates on the forms. There's not a lot on the forms, but the conversations, we want to update you on conversations you should be having and how how it's really just, we're structuring the deal a little bit different. But I want everybody to be very familiar with those forms. You remember that this is a settlement with the DOJ, so Department of Justice. So we've got to change our thinking a little bit. Nothing to be scared of. Nothing to be. It's just we're going to do it a little bit different. So make sure August 1st you're here, or I guess we're doing it Zoom. Lisa, is that correct?
Yeah.
Or you're on Zoom. I think it will be better if you're in person. I'll just be honest with you. And bring your questions, and we will try to get this, make you be able to have those conversations. If you guys want to role play on some of these conversations, I think, make sure your buyer's presentations are updated. We're going to be talking about the forms. We're going to talk about the touring agreements that you're seeing out there. And, we even have, Trek has even given us a touring agreement to use. So I want to talk about those and some pitfalls with those. So make sure August 1st that you're part of that conversation. And what time? 10 o'clock, is that correct, Lisa?
It is 10 o'clock. Yes. And then immediately following that, are we doing,
I think Broker Roundtable, isn't it?
nope, not Broker Roundtable, but KV Core, which we were
Oh,
just. talking
yes.
about. So right
Yes.
after that, we'll do a KV Core session.
And KV Core now is not Zoom. It's just too hard to, it's actually a work session. So bring your computers. We're going to talk about on KV Core how to go from a PDF, create an HTML, and put it on your emails so that when your emails are sent, it's the actual document instead of a link or a PDF attachment to your document. So, your emails look a little better sometimes with those. So hope y'all are here for that too. All
Right.
right. So Thursday's going to be hopping around here. So hope to see all y'all. And if you got any questions or needs between now and then, please don't hesitate to reach out to Cran or myself, and we'll help in where we can. So, all right. Y'all have a good week.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Have a good week, everyone.
Have a great week.
Have a great week.
Have a great week. Thanks.